Hi everyone, I'm Lilian Maruchi Wanjala, and today I'm going to be presenting my capstone project on repurposing construction and demolition waste to improve the built environment of informal settlements in Kenya. So this project basically investigates the feasibility of using recycled construction and demolition waste to improve housing and supporting infrastructure in low-income settlements with a specific focus on Kibera, which is the largest slum in Kenya, and it's in Nairobi. So my conceptual idea came from the fact that a safe and adequate housing is a fundamental human right, yet millions around the world lack access to it. Low-income settlements like Kibera in Kenya often face overcrowded and sanitary conditions. Currently, there are many structures that are made from materials collected from landfills, construction sites, including iron sheets, scrap wood, plastics, clay mud from neighboring rivers. These structures are not safe at all. They often offer little protection from wind, rain, and other vermin entering the structure. So the government decided to demolish this. But while demolishing these structures may seem like a best way to force people out of unsafe living conditions, there's challenges which are coming from the social, political, and economic and environmental challenges that comes with this solution. So at the same time, Nairobi is facing a growing waste management crisis. While the exact numbers are known, the UN Habitat estimated that construction and demolition waste accounts for at least 30% of the total waste in the landfill. So as this waste management challenge escalates, several illegal dump sites are springing up all over Nairobi and mostly adjacent to these low-income settlements, which further creates environmental degradation and health concerns for these communities living adjacent to these sites. So currently, there are solutions that address these problems, but they do address them in isolation. So this is where my study comes in, because I saw an opportunity to address these two problems with one solution. So this study, however, meets the challenges by recognizing that and appreciating that the communities can play an important role in unlocking a transformative solution with benefits for this environment. So the knock-off effect of this proposed approach is you can lead community empowerment through jobs, creating skill development, and also establishing a circular economy model that addresses both housing and waste management challenges in other urban contexts. So it can be a prototype. So this study embraced a social constructive approach, recognizing the individual active construction of knowledge through lived experiences, aligned with peace engineering principles, qualitative methods, facilitating community dialogue on repurposing construction waste, prioritizing community ownership and co-design. This is why I chose this approach. So the point is to engage stakeholders, to include residents, to get the diverse perspectives and capture these diverse perspectives and also inform participatory action research approach. So the study employed two theoretical frameworks to maintain an ethical perspective, which was circular economy and peace engineering. Circular economy basically focuses on resource efficiency, waste reduction, aiming to minimize waste generation and promote material reuse, while peace engineering integrates engineering with social consideration, empowering communities, and addressing socioeconomic inequalities. So these methodologies like life cycle assessments, participatory action research, guide the study towards a sustainable development and the community-driven solutions. My journey began with stakeholder mapping, a crucial step in community-based projects. In exploring the construction and demolition waste repurposing in Kibera, stakeholder ranges from community leaders to the residents themselves. Then I went to the other side, with the other category, which was the industry representatives, and also the third section was the government officials. So I segmented them in into accessible, possible to access, and challenging to access groups, just to make my research easier. That actually made me plan myself on how I was going to approach them. So part of my interview preparation, there was several steps that I taken. And first, I obtained research permit from NACOSTI, which is a body in Kenya that ensures ethical research practices in Kenya. So I navigated their regulatory framework and obtained official approval for the study. I also did research to gather information about each stakeholder mapped in the stakeholder mapping to just understand their roles, perspectives, and interests. This actually helped me in understanding and founding an interview guide, which comprised of both open-ended questions and focused questions designed to elicit valuable insight from the interviewees. I refined my skills through practice sessions, ensuring clarity, conciseness, and respectfulness in the communication. In parallel, I also came up with the informed consent forms, which outlined my study purpose, the voluntary nature of the participants, and the confidentiality of the responses. Then I also took proactive steps to secure interview appointments by reaching out to the potential interviewees for the study. This actually helped my study go way faster. So first I conducted on-ground interviews and observations. I walked around the Kibera location and did a lot of interviews with different people from the community. This actually helped inform, I got their experiences, their insights, their challenges, their strengths from these conversations. After doing the individual interviews, I had a focus group discussion. This was just to get collective insights, to make all these interviewees meet and interact and talk to each other, and also to explore the specific themes that I identified in the individual interviews. Next, I held a participatory co-design workshop, and here we're just discussing everything to do with the challenges that we're facing, and construction and demolition waste at the part. So we're designing potential solutions by improving their built environment using construction and demolition waste. This was also to encourage ownership and community participation in the research process. In the workshop, we also did participatory community mapping. This was just to identify and indicate the crucial landmarks in the community, which the community identified. We also identified the specific needs in these landmarks, we identified the specific needs and improvements required in the built environment, and how we can use construction and demolition waste, what kind of waste they needed for that environment. After having these discussions, of course, I had to go back to the site and go do like a focused study to ensure that the materials that had been identified in the community would be available in the sites to make it as feasible as possible. So the focus on materials suitable for repurposing housing and built environment. And also I wanted to know the types, the quantities, and the quality of these materials within the sites in Nairobi. So on to my findings of the study, I found that the study uncovered that there were critical needs within the Kibera built environment, including poor drainages, structural integrity issues like the ones listed below, and also sanitation facilities were limited, and there's also limited building materials. Despite these challenges, the community has showcased remarkable resourcefulness through repurposing construction and demolition waste for the infrastructure improvement. So this is already happening. They're already using construction and demolition waste. So this is an example of a drainage that was built using an construction and demolition waste. The person, a resident, went, collected construction debris, mixed it with cement, cleared the place that was notorious for flooding, and also cast a whole drainage system that actually has helped with the flooding and the waste management in that area. A second example is a drainage in a different location of Kibera, also notorious for flooding. Before it was like a dumping site, but then this resident got the youth and the children together, and they did a collection of construction and demolition waste, which they used to build this drainage system. So in doing so, it became a community-driven initiative by the youth and children and adults, of course, the people in construction, and this actually really helped the drainage in that area. So right now, they do not experience flooding in that area. So there are several other examples. If you walk around the community, there's so many examples of people using construction and demolition waste to improve the built environment, but I'll do one last. This is a final example. It is a community hall that was, it's a resident-led initiative. One resident who's also a construction worker, he collected the construction and demolition waste from various sites and second-hand yards. So these included stones, construction debris, steel members, roofing sheets, wire mesh. He used this to construct a whole hall. This hall is supposed to be used for playing indoor games by the community. It's supposed to be there for everyone to access. And also it's a place where they would put TVs and watch football matches because the community doesn't have such a shared space. So as a result, they came up with a shared space. It's already ongoing. The only thing left is the roofing sheets, which they're still collecting. So it's an ongoing development that shows the potential of circular economy in construction. I also did an analysis of construction and demolition waste, which is a characterization to just see the amount of the type of construction waste that was collected. We saw these people indeed collect a lot of construction and demolition waste and store them so that they can keep them to do projects. By leveraging existing resources and minimizing waste generation, Kibera residents can significantly reduce construction and demolition waste costs while improving their environmental sustainability. However, the challenge here is they lack transportation, and also there's storage. They don't have enough storage for these materials, and also they cannot afford to get the materials as much as because of the cost of the materials. Now, parallel to that, there's I went to the sites and identified the amount of materials that are there on site, which I just wanted to compare with the things that are being collected in Kibera, and we saw that the materials are exactly the same from this available in the sites, and the only difference is the quantities. Well, I can't tell you the exact quantities of the materials on sites. There are definitely a lot more than the ones found in Kibera, and that just actually proved the point that one of the residents says that they do not have enough, they do not have a way of transporting these materials or storing, or they cannot collect as much as they would want to because of the financial challenges. So I did a cost analysis for the building materials that are conventional, that means the new building materials, and the repurposed secondary waste, which is the same thing. We did a cost analysis and we found them, they definitely ranges from 30% to 90% discounts on these prices depending on the material. So you can just pause and go through the table and see the difference. Another section was the environmental impact assessment, which is just checking on the value of reusing construction and demolition waste. At first, it also reduces reliance on virgin materials. So repurposing construction and demolition waste will definitely reduce the demand for virgin materials and reduces the need for quarrying and mining, which is good for the environment. Number two, it also helps in waste reduction and diversion. Repurposing construction waste diverts significant quantities of materials from landfills, leading to reduced pressure on landfills. And also, number three, there's reduced energy consumption. Any material that needs to be processed to be used, of course, needs energy. And repurposing construction and demolition waste has the potential to lower this energy consumption. So, in conclusion, the transformative potential of repurposed construction and demolition waste obviously extends beyond infrastructure development. It also shows the social, economic, and environmental benefits. So, if we could embrace innovation, collaboration, and community empowerment, Nairobi's landscape would evolve to a more sustainable and resilient future. While this study provides valuable insights, several limitations and opportunities for the future research remain. So improved data collection systems, community engagement strategies, and comprehensive environmental impact assessments are essential for advancing sustainable construction and demolition waste management practices. Additionally, there should be longitudinal studies to track the long-term effects of community-driven initiatives like this and others, and policy invention on urban resilience and, of course, environmental sustainability. So building on the promising results from my feasibility studies, I'm excited to announce that the next steps will be developing a proposal for a pilot project in Kibera. This proposal will seek funding to explore the use of recycled construction and demolition waste to improve housing and the built environment in this community. So fingers crossed, all the best. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any questions, if you have any insights, I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you.